Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Study Lounge live stream with Valley Noble. We're an educational consultancy business, and we help international students preparing to study here in Australia, and so they can have the best learning experience without all the confusing stuff. But before we get started, we want to extend a warm welcome to all our viewers joining us from around the world. We appreciate your support. And if you're watching live or the replay of our live, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment below in the comment box and let us know where you're tuning in from. We love hearing from our viewers and our global community. I'm your host, Shah. We have an exciting live stream for you all today. Today's Social Saturday. So for our Social Saturday, we will be going fishing in Redcliffe. Joining me as co-host and also as my team members are Puni and Sil. Hi guys.
Hey everyone.
Morning.
How are you guys doing? How's your week been?
Yeah, not too bad. Been a pretty alright week. Just the usual, and catching up with a bit of mates. Always fun.
Nice. What about you, Sil?
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I'm just glad it's the weekend. I'm a little bit worse for wear today, but tragic looking waking up. It's really great to be here and to hang out with you guys and to definitely go fishing, one of my favorites.
Nice. And I was just saying earlier, sorry, me?
Yeah.
I'm doing good. It's been a long week, so I'm glad it's the weekend. But I was just saying earlier to you guys, that normally people sleep in on the weekend, but here we are at 7 a.m. Brisbane time on a live. So, but it's been a great week. Excited for the weekend and just to chill before the other week starts, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. But thanks, Puni and Sils. We'll just go ahead and we'll both get started. I'm glad to have you both here to share some tips and information about fishing at Redcliffe. And we hear that that Redcliffe is a great fishing spot. So let's dive right in and get started. Puni, let's start with the types of fish our international student viewers can expect to catch at Redcliffe. So, what are some of the most common species found in those waters or in these waters?
Hi guys. So Redcliffe offers an incredible array of fish to hook onto. So I think here there's a chance to catch beam, flathead, whiting, snapper, and even trevally if you're lucky. So there's a variety of fish that you can catch. So get on those lines and start fishing and see what you can catch out there.
You might catch little scary ones. We caught things like we're like, what is this? So you never know.
Yeah, I think one time we caught, it was a baby shark. So this was with my uncle, so it was a while ago. So there's definitely a variety of different variety of fishes that you can potentially catch. So thanks for that, Puni. I guess now it's what are the best spots in Redcliffe to go fishing? And Sils, I know you have some experience in that. What are some best fishing spots in Redcliffe? And also, what baits should our viewers have in their tackle boxes to attract the different fish?
Oh, good. Okie doke. Well, Redcliffe Jetty, I know that's a really great spot for fishing. We've also been to Woody Point. It's a nice little pier that you can walk out to, and it's really good spot. They're both for beginners and experienced fishermen or anglers. So Scarborough Beach is also another great spot. We probably love to go to the Hornibrook Pier, and it used to be an old bridge way back in the days. It was how we used to get across to Redcliffe, but it's now historically listed and it's a pier, so it'll just go off and cut off. That's both on the north and south side. And in the car park, you may get to see a whole bunch of pelicans. So if that's something that's you haven't seen before, it's really nice. I think when we first got to Australia, that was something that we saw. Even traveling across to Redcliffe was a lot of pelicans. So that's a good sight to catch. As for baits, there's prawn, there's bloodworms, and yabbies are a hit with the locals. And you can get them at the nearby tackle shops, and we usually can stop in at 7-Eleven as well. That's just on the northern side of the Hornibrook Bridge. If you just keep on going, turn off to your left, and then there's a 7-Eleven if you haven't already got your bait. My brother is a local in the Sunny Coast area, and so he swears by chicken hearts. And so we actually like the chicken hearts. They've been quite a big hit. So if you go to Woolies or Coles and you go to the pet section, then you're able to find the chicken hearts in there. And they come in a little container, and it's nice. It doesn't fall off the hook, which we don't like falling off the hook. It's nice and sturdy, but it's good for a good catch. Yeah.
That's some awesome advice. Thanks, Sills. I didn't know that you could use chicken hearts, so that's definitely something to add to something I've learned today. But yeah, the pier, it's like hard to miss. Like you'll see it.
Yeah.
I've seen like a line of fishermen, of people fishing when you're driving into Redcliffe. So it definitely looks like a great spot to go fishing. So you're probably wondering about the best times to go out for fishing. Puni, are you able to just give us an idea of the best time for a successful fishing trip? When are the fish most active?
Hi, so early mornings and late afternoons are your best times to go to catch fish. It's the times where the fish are most active in the most common areas. So going around those areas are increasing your chances at catching fish. But practice is always key, and rewards are well worth it. Also patience.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have patience when you're fishing. So just keep those in handy, and as well as remembering tide times, because those are important for deciding whether to go or not. So yeah, just making sure you have those tips in and you should be good and well on your way to catching fish.
Nice. That's some good info to know. But before we get into like tide times where you can access that, patience is a huge key to fishing. I know in my experience with fishing, it does take a lot of patience. And so I feel like fishing is a sport for those to practice patience. So it's definitely, but it's exciting because it is worth it when you do catch a fish. So yeah, thanks for that info, Puni. So I guess tide times where we can access that. Are you able to give us an idea still of where we could view those tide times so that we can plan a good fishing trip?
Yeah, no worries. I'll just go back a little too. So in our culture, we also use the moon as a and the different, I guess, not shades of moon, but the different moon phases to when is the best time for fishing. So if you want to, I will try and find a calendar, but we use the Māori calendar or the lunar phase calendar. So there are different options which when the fish are at their best as well as the tides. So I'll find that for you, but you can check out the tides. We have a description. We have it in our description, a link in our description. Oh, we do have another visitor. This is our cat who wanted to join us this morning. But yeah, the link in the description to the different tides. So let's see that. Sorry, guys, I just missed where I'm going. What you can also do is look in the Bureau of Meteorology website, and I think it's called Wally's. I will have it in the description, but it's the one that I use the most to find out what tides are, especially for the Brisbane areas. So go and check that out.
Nice. Yeah, I just have to piggyback off of what Phil was saying regarding the times for fishing. Growing up with uncles who fish, they normally would go out at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and yeah, I think you would use the moon phases as well. They would have sayings like, "Oh, it's a great time to go catch fish," and it was based off of the moon phase. So, yeah, that'll be good if we can get that and share that with everyone. Because it seems to have worked because they always come back with something. So,
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, so thanks for that info too, Phil, about the tide times. Like Phil said, we'll link those in the description with the apps that you can use as well as the website, the BOM website, where you can access the tide times. So I guess, we've covered a few things with fishing. Now it's the type of fishing gear. So like, what should you have for a successful day or trip of fishing? And Puni, from your experience, what fishing gear have you used?
So I normally went with a medium-sized fishing rod with a reel loaded with a suitable fishing line, and some basic tackle, so hooks, sinkers, swivels, and that will get you started. So only the basic stuff. You don't need all the high-tech gears, but make sure you have you bring a fishing bag and a cooler, just so you make sure that your fish that you catch are nice and fresh for when you take it home, and bring it to the family and show off your prize.
Yeah, and I also think, like, we didn't have it all the time, but if you have a fishing net, then that's also good. Like, to while the fish is coming up, you can hook it in. So we're not we don't catch all those humongous fish. We're just little off the pier fishermen. But also, I remember when we were fishing there were these guys that use nets. So when there was a mullet run for the fish that's called a mullet, they would, they knew when they were coming through, and they would get tons. We wouldn't get them on the hook, but they just would throw the nets out, and they would get, was awesome.
They'll get a lot of fish.
Wow. They got a lot of fish because they knew there's sort of one spotter, and he'd say they're coming, and then these guys up here would get ready and throw the net out. So it was really cool to watch. Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you about that. Yeah. So I think it's also important to talk about just like the etiquette, so fishing etiquette and conservation. So just things that we should keep in mind when we do go fishing at Redcliffe, or just anywhere in general. So making sure that we leave no trace of like rubbish, making sure that you take your rubbish with you if there are no rubbish bins around. I'm not sure if you guys can remember if there were, but just making sure you clean up after yourself and that you're disposing of things properly. Making sure that you follow the rules on like the size. I don't know if they're like the size of fish that you can catch and the amount. Is that a
so there's
like the limits?
I put in the description as well, like fishing rules and limits. So that will be for you to check out.
And so those are just guidelines we have to be aware of, and just ensure that there is sustainability with the fishing practices in the areas that you do go fishing or in Redcliffe, and always just being respectful and courteous to others around you that are fishing, making sure that you're giving them enough room. You don't want to be like totally fishing right next to them, because you don't want to throw them off. So just making sure you give them enough space to cast their lines, and then also that gives you enough space to cast yours. And so, yeah, just making sure we preserve just the beautiful spots, fishing spots that they have in Redcliffe, not just for this generation, but for generations to come. So that's just something to be aware of. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to add to that, or
Yeah, that's
pretty
awesome
good with
advice,
that? Yeah.
Shah. I think, it's sort of like, try and leave it the way you came. And if there is any rubbish there when you do arrive, just like put it away, don't say, oh, but it was somebody else's. So if you come to a place, if it looks really nice and it's clean, leave it like that. Take everything. So we usually take a bag and we take it with us. But if you do find a bit of rubbish, like, just pick it up. It's really easy, and it does make it, like Shah said, it makes it look good for the next generation, and it's sort of a good practice to teach the next generation when we do take them. It is that making sure you're keeping it clean and safe. Especially, we have gotten there and seen a couple of hooks still poking out of the ground. So it's making sure it's clean and safe. You're like, oh, what is this? But yeah, safe.
Yeah. And I think it's also good to be mindful of, the creatures in the ocean, or the fish, the other animals. We want to be able to catch more of them, or, so it's good to just make sure that we have everything clean. And as Phil said, if it was clean when you got there, leave it clean. If it wasn't clean, then just pick up the rubbish that is there and take that with you. But yeah, so let's I guess with before we wrap up, I wanted to see if you, Puni, or even you, Phil, had any memorable fishing experiences at Redcliffe that you'd like to share with the viewers.
Yeah, absolutely, Sean. I've had a fair share of my experiences while fishing at Redcliffe. I had this one time where I was hooking onto a snapper, and he was like, oh, I couldn't pull him up. Like, he was just fighting so hard. But just experiences like that are the most memorable, and I like to share that with you guys. So you guys can make some of your own, and have some fun times with you and your family, or even your friends. So
yeah. I think too.
What about you, Phil? Have you had any?
Yeah, I think one of the best times I had, because I love fishing and my dad really loves fishing as well. So it was his birthday, and so we took myself and him. We surprised him. We were like, okay, we're just going for a drive, and he's like, oh, we're going far away. And then ended up we went to do some fishing, and he enjoyed it with his mokos, or his grandkids. So it was my kids as well as my sister's kids who came along. So it was a nice family hangout together. But I think what I didn't mention earlier is actually how to get to Redcliffe. So it's about a 30-minute drive north of Brisbane. You just get on the M1, I believe, and you just keep following the signs. You really can't miss it. It's really good signposted, and even when you get off the freeway to go to Redcliffe, you just can't miss it. And it's a really lovely, I think that's something that I always love going into Redcliffe, is you're going on this big huge bridge, and it's just a beautiful sight and just really nice feeling. So yeah, get to Redcliffe.
Nice, thanks, Sylvan, for me. Yeah, Redcliffe, there's a couple of times that I have been there, it is beautiful. And like Phil said, when you drive into it over the bridge, it's just like ocean. Like, you see just the sea on this side and on the other side, and you see the pier as well, and just people lined up there fishing depending on the time or the day that you go. So definitely a place to check out. On North Brisbane, on that side of Brisbane, and you won't regret it. It's totally worth the drive. and hopefully you guys do catch some fish as well. So that's a wrap for our live stream for Social Saturday on fishing at Redcliffe. We hope that this has somewhat inspired you to take a break from your studies and work, and to grab your fishing gear and to go catch or attempt to catch some fish. So yeah, head up to Redcliffe and create some unforgettable memories while you're here studying in Australia by enjoying what's around you, and just remember to follow the tips and the advice that we've shared. And like Sils has said, we will link those things, the website and the apps and everything we've spoken about in the description. But most importantly, just enjoying every moment that you're fishing or just out in Redcliffe. So we do thank you guys for joining us today. Is there anything else that you, Sils or Puni, wanted to add, or anything that you feel like we've missed?
It's just adding on from like, I guess, being safe. Just be mindful that you're fishing with other people, so just be courteous and don't do anything dumb. But yeah, just making sure that you're being safe and you're not waving around your
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
Your lines.
because it can hit someone and you might think you're catching someone, but it's just someone.
It's someone next to you.
Yeah.
We don't want
Don't do
that
that.
at all. Yeah, that's actually really good. That's a great reminder for me. Just be safe. Like, you can have fun and be safe, So don't be too silly. Don't be, like you said, waving your fishing line around that you end up catching the person next to you or even yourself. But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up there. Like I said, thank you all for joining us today on this live stream with Valley Noble. We hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we have. And as we come to a close, remember to stay connected and keep exploring the endless possibilities that lie ahead of you. If you do have any questions or want to stay engaged with us, with Valley Noble, feel free to follow our social media channels and subscribe to those channels and to those accounts or profiles. And we appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in and for being a part of our vibrant community. We are really grateful. So keep shining brightly and spreading positivity wherever you are in the world. And until we meet again, take care, stay safe, and remember, you are all truly noble. So we'll catch you later again tomorrow, again, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Have a great day.
See you
Bye.
later. Thank you. Bye.